Alright guys, something weird just went down. You'd think with Trump's visit to the UK, AI would be the main character, right? But then you check your screens and see the sectors going absolutely crazy. First are actually quantum computing and nuclear energy. NuScale rockets up nearly 20%. IONQ surges almost 10%. Nuclear fuel plays like Lu Wei and uranium miner CCJ are all exploding too. So the big question hits you? What is the market really betting on? We need to look at what major event just happened. In the last couple of days, the US and UK signed a massive tech investment deal totaling $42 billion led by Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, and OpenAI. American companies are collectively charging into the UK with real cash. This isn't just talk. It's signed investment commitments. And do you know this is just the base version? The UK government even hinted that the potential scale of the entire tech collaboration could balloon to a staggering $420 billion. So think about it, guys. This isn't just about the amount of cash it's about who is making the move and what kind of power shift it represents. The market isn't stupid, why chase AI now, but pile into quantum and nuclear first. There's solid logic here. It's about getting in early on the foundational framework of American tech export. A lot of people are brushing off this news as just Trump's visit plus tech giants throwing some money around, guys. Don't get it twisted. It's completely not that simple. This agreement is called the Technology Prosperity Deal. Sounds pretty cozy, right? But look at it from another angle. It's actually a new diplomatic weapon the US is deploying. A packaged export of tech plus capital. First, check the line at Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, OpenAI. All these tech titans are on board, publicly pledging to invest up to $42 billion in the UK. This isn't aid. It's computing power hitting the ground. It's standard setting. It's an outpost for controlling the future valuation chain. Don't think this is just corporate behavior who's really behind it. Trump made a personal visit to promote it. And the US government is treating this as a national level strategy. Let's be real, this isn't some win-win cooperation between the US and the UK. It's about the US pulling Britain into its own tech control zone. What's even more intense is that the US ISMT just selling equipment. They're bringing the whole package. GPUs for AI cloud computing power, quantum computing tech, nuclear energy systems, and they're even squeezing digital assets and blockchain into the agreement. This is about turning AI quantum and nuclear power into a bundled standard. Once you're hooked into their investments, you're locked into their system. That's the real story behind this so-called tech prosperity deal. It's not about giving money. It's about claiming territory. It's not cooperation. It's domination. That's not just planning for the future. It's defining it. Let's start with the flashiest part. The star of this deal is clearly AI. Just look at the lineup. Microsoft is pouring $30 billion into building a top-tier AI supercomputing center in the UK. NVIDIA is deploying 120,000 GPUs, basically turning the UK into Europe's computing power hub. Google is investing £5 billion to expand data centers and tightening its grip on deep. OpenAI is jumping into planning an AI growth zone, packaging up the whole ecosystem. Sounds impressive, right? But don't mistake this for simple investment to its digital colonization. This U.S.AI push isn't about open sharing. It's more like, here are our chips. Here's our clout now. You've got to use our platform and follow our standards. It's like a tech version of TPP. Once you're connected, future valuations, standards, and control all stay in American hands. But here's the question. If AI is such a big deal, why aren't NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Google's stocks moving much? Look closer. The money isn't really flowing in because this sector is already priced into the market. These giants are already must-have assets for institutional investors. They're slow-burn holdings, not bets on unexpected breakthroughs. But the real battlefield for smart money is in the hidden links behind this deal. Take CRWV, for example. That stock is NVDA's real shadow force. Don't forget, they just landed a massive deal with NVIDIA, a $6.3 billion cloud compute agreement locked in until 2032. This isn't just a partnership, So, see the pattern? NVDA is the public face. CRWV is the inside game. AI is the banner being waved. But the real opportunity is hiding in the banner's shadow. Now, moving past AI as the showpiece project, let's talk about the real wake-up call. Quantum computing. Folks, don't mistake this for just a research project. This is the genuine choke point. You might have seen the news. The US quantum company IONQ recently acquired the UK's Oxford Ionic. And how did the UK government respond? They approved it, but the conditions were crystal clear. Core technology must stay in the UK, and key talent cannot be drained. What does this tell us? The UK is afraid of its tech being completely locked down by the US, and the US is afraid of someone else controlling the standards. This isn't just a business acquisition. It's a test of the boundaries of technological sovereignty. Let's be blunt. Quantum is now being treated as a strategic resource that must not leak away. Unlike AI, which can be bought and sold, quantum is a vital artery. Whoever masters the algorithms and architecture can rewrite encryption systems, crush security protocols, and even overturn financial structures. Look back at this tech agreement. Besides the big AI investments, it explicitly calls for deepening cooperation on quantum standards. What does standards mean? It means I make the rules, and you adapt. I lead, and you follow. The UK's role isn't just to participate, but to bind its research foundation directly into the US system. And has the market noticed? absolutely yonks, stock rallied, and even smaller players like RGT got a hype boost. This isn't just blind momentum trading, it's money realizing that the real value of game theory isn't in the hyperized AI giants, but in the not yet fully valued quantum choke point. Stop thinking of this as just tech news. This is a tech version of the CHIPS Act, an intelligence pact, and a standards export, all rolled into one. This is about controlling vital points, not just announcing partnerships. So, if AI is the shiny front and quantum is the choke point, then what's the foundation holding this whole tech push-up? Let's talk about what's firmly on the ground: nuclear energy. It's the power base for this entire tech export war. Don't underestimate this part. In this science and technology framework agreement, besides compute and algorithms, the US and UK specifically signed a nuclear energy cooperation pact. And the slogan is loud and clear: to usher in a golden age for nuclear power in the US. You know what? Let's taste the vibe of this statement. Does it sound familiar? Absolutely. It's just like when the U.S. promoted atoms for peace during the Cold War, except this time it's not about building more power plants, but about providing independent energy sources for high power consuming systems like AI and quantum computing. What does that mean? The U.S. is positioning nuclear energy as the energy moat for the next generation tech ecosystem. What's more important? This isn't just lip service. SMR, small modular reactor projects, have been clearly slated for accelerated construction in the UK. With streamlined approval processes, American companies like X-Energy and NuScale have already secured their spots. The UK is now the first testing ground. Now check out how the market's moving. NuScale shot up almost 20%. Nano Nuclear and Oklo are getting pumped hard by capital. Even upstream players like uranium miners, CCJ, and fuel specialists, Leo, are rallying together. Why? Because this isn't just about nuclear power plants. It's about who controls the energy gateway to the US-led tech export chain. Don't even get me started on BW, that old-school defense supplier for reactor core components. The market is now rebranding it from a defense stock to part of the tech supply chain. That's capital reshaping the whole playing field. Think about it: no matter how much AI or quanta stocks rise, without stable energy backing, they're just castles in the air. Only nuclear energy can lay the real foundation for this whole tech system. You might still be wondering, is this just some analyst breaking down theories, or is the market really reacting this way? Let me tell you, the market has already voted with its feet, and it's moving way faster than you think. Look at the nuclear sector. NuScale SMR surged 19% right after the agreement was announced. Nano Nuclear, Oklo, BWXT, all these stocks took off. The whole nuclear fuel chain, from CCJ uranium to Lu enrichment, broke out with heavy volume. That's no coincidence. That's people scrambling for position. Then check quantum. IONQ's acquisition of Oxford Ionics just got the green light from the UK. Even with lots of conditions, the market didn't care. They took it as a critical path, unlocked signal, and the stock pushed higher. Even small caps like RGT started jumping. Money isn't just chasing hype, that's chasing the main trend. Meanwhile, on the AI side, big names like NVDA and Microsoft are holding up okay, but they're not exploding. You want to chase, build big players aren't playing along. Because the main trend is already set elsewhere, smart money won't keep pouring into those trend indicator stocks with capped upside for short-term breakouts. Guy, this is the key point. Logic is just the clue. The price action is the verification. Right now, it's not about guessing who benefits. The market's already showing you who's getting the bad stop, so you need to understand this wave isn't about trading the news. It's about scrambling for the first principal assets in this tech landscape reshuffle. Guys, do you think we've just been talking about the AI track, quantum concepts, nuclear speculation? No. When you get down to it, this isn't an industrial division of labor. It's a form of tech colonization. This $42 billion deal looks like investment. Sounds like cooperation, but is actually a template for American tech export. What did the US bring? AI hardware, compute cloud, quantum architecture, nuclear foundation, plus a complete set of industrial ecosystem standards, added policy coordination, tech pathways, talent binding. This isn't give and take. This is I set the rules. You accept. Do you see it now? This is an upgraded global tech TPP. AI is the flag. Quantum is the lifeline. Nuclear is the foundation. The UK is the testing ground, and other countries are the next targets. What's more alarming for us is, this time, US isn't relying on its military, nor just the dollar. It's leveraging a coalition of corporations plus capital plus state power, forming a supranational export alliance. Companies like NVDA and Microsoft are no longer just tech companies, they're strategic instruments. Their investments aren't merely commercial moves. They're diplomatic tools, geopolitical chips, and standards offensives. Now, look back at the market, isn't it? Moving with precision. Why did quantum rise? The critical gateway was opened. Why is nuclear energy being hyped? It's a race to secure the foundation. Why hasn't AI moved much? Because it's already anchored. It's the capped item in the capital layout. So, team, what we're witnessing isn't just sector rotation. We're seeing a rewrite of the rulebook tech edition. The market reaction isn't random speculation. There's a logical chain, but analyzing the market isn't just about sectors. We need to land it on specific stocks to have operational value. So from these three lines, I'll pick one representative stock each, and we'll talk specifically about its attributes and how to play it. First, the AI line. NVDA is the banner, but that's a trend. Stock capital has already anchored it. There's no short-term meat left on that bone for chasers. The real battleground with room for the game is NVDA's Shadow Force CRWV, CRWV. This stock only had its IPO in March this year with an offering price of $40. It raised $1.5 billion right out of the gate, and its share price soared to nearly $200 at one point. After pulling back, it's now trading around $125. That's a triple in less than half a year. Now this is what capital sees as the real AI. Looking at the fundamentals, Q2 revenue hit $1.2 billion, a whopping 200% plus year-over-year surge, and its contracted backlog is a massive $30.1 billion. What does that mean? The orders are locked in. Revenue for the next several years is guaranteed, but don't forget, it's still posting a net loss of $290 million last quarter, and the full-year loss last year was close to $860 million. This is the classic blitzscale model. Expand fast, lose money to grab market share. Most crucially, it signed a $6.3 billion guaranteed contract with NVIDIA, locked in until 2032. The logic is simple. Even if customer demand lags, NVIDIA guarantees to buy up all the unused compute capacity. Isn't that a blatant binding? NVIDIA has basically found its cloud right-hand man, and CRWV has become the shadow projection of AI infrastructure. How to play this stock? Simple. It's not a trend anchor. It's an emotional volatility stock. Don't expect it to be a slow compounder like Microsoft. It moves fast. Good news comes out, it spikes. The news fades. It sells off on disagreement. If you really want to trade it, watch the news windows closely. Trade quick in and out. Don't think about loading up for years. This stock is very risky, especially with its valuation already over $20 billion. In a nutshell, CRWV is NVIDIA's shadow army. Solid logic, huge contracts, wild swing. You can grab some gains, but you can't afford to get comfortable. Now, looking at the quantum space, the stock that best represents the critical gateway is IONQ. Its recent explosive rally isn't just about tech hype, it's driven by a mix of policy and security game. First, the hard news. IONQ just closed its acquisition of UK-based Oxford Ionics, a deal worth around $1.07 billion. The UK government approved it, but with a bunch of conditions. Core hardware must stay in the UK, and R&D, engineering, and manufacturing functions must remain local. What's really going on? The UK is afraid of its tech being completely hollowed out by the US, while the U.S. is worried about losing control of the standard. This is a classic battle over the critical gateway. The market saw this, signaled and voted immediately. IONQ's price shot up to around $70, with a short-term spike of 30% plus. Guys, this isn't retail blindly chasing. It's capital acknowledging a logic. Quantum is being treated as a strategic resource. Whoever controls it can dominate future encryption systems and compute architectures, but the problem is obvious. IONQ's fundamental base isn't stable yet. The company's revenue is small, it's burning cash fast, and profitability is far away. Its current valuation is purely a lifeline premium given by the market. If the tech roadmap hits a snag, or policy momentum slows, this stock could pull back even harder than it rose. So how to play it? Treat this stock as a tactical bet. The rhythm is trade the news spikes. Entry points are around events like merger completions or government approvals. Once the news is out and big money exits, the sell-off is often faster than the run-up. If you really want in, keep the position light and your trigger finger quick. Don't mistake this for a long-term trend. Hold. In a nutshell, IONQ isn't a steady trend anchor. It's a policy-dependent, news-driven play. You can ride a wave of safety premium, but the risk here is bigger than the opportunity. Finally, in the nuclear line, the one that really holds its ground isn't a small cap like NuScale, but Cameco CCJ. Why? Because it's the global uranium mining leader. The source reservoir at the very top of the supply chain. In the recent US-UK Atlantic Declaration Tech Pact, nuclear energy was explicitly highlighted, with slogans about ushering in a golden age of nuclear. As small modular reactors SMRs accelerate, who benefits first when nuclear fuel demand picks up? The uranium miners. CCJ is the structural play that rides this policy tailwind, backed by stable supply. Check the data. CCJ is trading around $86, showing strong momentum all year, and broke out on heavy volume after the news. The expectation for uranium demand from planned UK and US SMRs has ignited, and the market is treating Cameco as the anchor stock for the nuclear theme. On the basis, Cameco controls premium global uranium resources and has a resilient supply chain, something pure concept plays like NuScale or Oklo can't match. This isn't a small cap that runs on hype and fades. It's a structural play that grounds the nuclear thesis in real supply and demand. There are risks. Uranium is a commodity, so its price is sensitive to global politics, supply chains, and regulations. If the nuclear energy rollout is slower than the hype suggests, CCJ could pull back from its highs, but compared to those volatile CCJ swings are more manageable, and it has stronger institutional backing, so the play is clear. CCJ is a structural hold, not a momentum trade. It's better suited for medium-term accumulation on dips, not chasing breakouts, want a quick profit. Go play NewScale or OKLO. Want a steadier hand. Stick with Bottom line, CCJ is the steady anchor in the nuclear chain clear logic. Broad recognition, fit for the medium term, not for impulsive moves. Guys, by now you should see this clearly. This isn't just a routine visit or some minor sector news. This is the Trump 2.0 era officially launching its tech remapping plan. On a global scale, look back. How has the U.S. pushed its influence worldwide over the decades? Through military dominance, dollar hegemony, and media channels, but that playbook is fading. Dollar credibility is eroding. Geopolitical conflicts strain budgets, trade deficits fuel inflation. So what's the move? Switch weapons. Launch tech colonization. This declaration on the Atlantic is the first official unveiling of this new weapon, ditching old-school alliances for a corporate plus state dual-track push. The government provides the agreements and policy framework. Tech companies sign the deals and make the investments. Then they bundle up systems like AI, quantum, and nuclear, seemingly industrial, but really tools of power, and export the whole package. Think the UK is just a partner? No, team. The UK is the testing ground, the sandbox, the first piece of the puzzle in this new colonization game. Who's next? Japan, Korea, the EU, India? Whoever takes U.S. corporate money, binds themselves to American GPUs, adopts quantum standards, or imports SMR reactor cores will have to accept this entire system of rules, tech protocols, and strategic security chains. That's the ultimate significance of this event. It's not about which sector rallies first or which theme pops off. It's about who gets to set the standards. Who ends up just holding the bag? Who gets a seat in the chain? And who's left watching from the outside? And what are the three main lines the U.S. is drawing for the world right now? AI is the front door. It showcases power. Quantum is the critical path. It locks in threats. Nuclear is the foundation. It feeds the entire system. Long-term, do you get it now? This isn't three separate investment themes. This is an ecosystem layout for tech imperialism. That's not about sector rotation. It's about valuation domination. It's not about industry tailwinds. It's about reshaping global influence. Hearing this, do you still think we're just talking about some tech investment opportunity? You think that $42 billion is just about building infrastructure? No, it's a card-bottom card that says who sets the future rules. Who holds the anchoring power? The U.S. shows up. Tech giants fall in line. Standards are bundled. The foundation is laid. Even the algorithm pathways and energy roadmaps are packaged and shipped together. You're still wondering if AI is chaseable, if IONQ is worth buying, if SMR plays are short-term trades or medium-term holds. No, this is no longer just making investment choices. This is choosing sides in the civilizational shift. Do you think the UK willingly tied itself to this for a better position? Or was it strategically leveraged, exchanging its critical path? Do you see NVIDIA as an industry leader? Or as a national-level agent? Do you think this is an industry opportunity? Or a reshuffling of global tech discourse power? This isn't a question of what to buy today. It's a question of what you'll accept tomorrow. Which side are you on? Cooperation or binding? Win-win? Or being the recipient opportunity? Or trap? Drop your judgment in the comments. Don't let this round be just about superpowers placing bets while retail doesn't dare speak up. Old Lee was here. Next time we'll continue breaking down who is the next target for tech export.